Hey everyone, it's empowerment comedian Ernie G reaching out just to say hello and introduce myself to all of the Best Start Wilmington community partners and anyone who's going to be involved with our amazing Zoom calls for teenagers and for familias with empowerment comedy from yours truly, Ernie G. So as many of you know, who have probably seen me on TV shows with George Lopez and Gabriel Iglesias, I'm not fat, I'm fluffy. I've been doing comedy for over 23 years. I'm on a bunch of TV shows nobody watches. I'm so famous, I have to tell you how famous I am. But I was on a show many years ago called Que Locos that was hosted by George Lopez. And it had people like Gabriel Iglesias, I'm not fat, I'm fluffy. It had Felipe Esparza and a bunch of your favorite Latino comedians. And of course, I was on that show. I have over 50 national television appearances. I've been doing comedy for many, many years. But my heart and my soul and my passion is about what I've been doing for the past 15, 16 years, which is empowerment comedy. I was the national spokesperson for the Hispanic College Fund for many years, and they flew me all over the country to inspire young people to rise up and become the best versions of themselves. So I've literally inspired and empowered hundreds of thousands of teenagers and young people to be the best students they can be, to be the best leaders they can be, and to go back to their communities and in their familias and really be leaders. And it's just an honor and a privilege that I get to be with all of you now to collaborate to make an impact through Best Start Wilmington. You know, I have so many amazing inspirational stories of how I ended up here. You know, I teach students all the time, if it is to be, it is up to me. I've had hundreds of thousands of students repeat that phrase. If it is to be, it is up to me. And years later, students that I performed at their middle schools, at their high schools, they call me years later, hey, I'm getting my master's degree. I'm opening up this business and you really impacted me. As a matter of fact, that's how I ended up here. I'm not going to give his name away because he wants to kind of keep incognito, but one of our Best Start Wilmington superstars, I performed at his high school. And then years later, I just happened to be the keynote speaker at Cal State Dominguez Hills when he graduated from with his bachelor's degree. And then years later, he calls me, he goes, hey bro, you performed at my high school, then you performed at my college graduation, and now I'm getting my master's. Would you be at my graduation? I was like, it'd be my honor. So I go to this guy's graduation from getting his master's degree. We became friends. I invited him to become a mentor for a teen empowerment day. I had a huge teen empowerment day a couple of years ago, and I invited him to be one of my mentors. And we got teenagers where I came and I performed my empowerment comedy. And then we did some leadership development. What happens when teenagers see my comedy show, they really feel a safe space. They get inspired and they want to start sharing with me. So they've revealed some really deep stuff, some trauma and some family stuff that they're going through. So I trained myself as a mental health coach. So now I teach mental health awareness, I teach emotional intelligence, leadership development, the power of forgiveness. And so students really bond and fall in love with each other. And my friend who I inspired through this program, Best Start Wilmington, he's like, bro, let's get you a grant, man. I think if you apply, you'd be perfect for what First 5 LA is already doing in the community. And so now I feel so blessed and honored to be providing Zoom calls because, as you know, during quarantine, we had to pivot and move all of our live performances and things that we're doing in the community. We had to move online. So I started doing something called Zoom at Noon for teenagers. And that Zoom call has been enormously successful. I have teenagers from all over the country coming on this Zoom call, and they fall in love with each other, they bond with each other, and then they want to become leaders and mentor other teens to be a part of what we're doing. So I definitely plan on collaborating with all of you community partners out there to figure out how we can really empower the entire community of Wilmington and the surrounding neighborhoods to really rise up, elevate our vibration, become the best versions of ourselves, and really provide some leadership where it's needed. And so I just wanted to take this few opportunity to introduce myself to all of you, let you know how excited that I am that a Latino comedian who's on a bunch of TV shows is going to be hanging out in Wilmington with teenagers to empower them to make an impact on their 0 to 5-year-old siblings and all the people in the community. So empowerment comedian, mental health coach, Tedx speaker, Ernie G saying, it's so great meeting you all. I look forward to connecting with you. Visit me at ernieg.com. I'm Ernie G, on social media. But let's make a big impact with Best Start Wilmington. Nice meeting you all. Peace. Bye.